Cannot buy me love. Hello, everybody. Sorry for the delay, and welcome to another episode of the Lockbox, formerly Arizona Real Estate Showcase. I am your host, Jason Grandon, with the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. All right, today we are going to have a little bit of fun. In fact, it's kind of funny because when I did this a week and a half ago, I thought I recorded this episode and put it up, and apparently I didn't. And I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, what did I do wrong? And so this was it. So anyways, which is fine because I kind of want to change it up a little bit. But we are going to have a little bit of fun today. Real quick, let me give you a recap of Arizona. Yes, I know last time, the past few podcasts, we've talked about how we think, this was the last rate hike and stuff like that. We are expecting another rate hike. So listen. You know what? Do not let this deter you from purchasing a house or even selling your house for that matter, but specifically purchasing. It's funny. I talked to a gal the other day, and I'm like, she was talking about buying a house and this and that, and then she's like, I'm not going to pay 7.5% for a house mortgage, which still is historically low. I'm not going to pay 7.5%. I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, I like your new car. What'd you get? Oh, I got a brand new BMW. I got a great deal on it. And what's the interest rate? 12%. I'm like, oh, 12% on your $70,000 BMW. And then, I noticed she paid with a credit card while we were at Starbucks. And I'm like, hey, you got a 0% card? She's like, no, it's like 30% interest. So, it kind of makes me think. People complain about a 7.5% interest rate, but yet they'll take out a 30% credit card, a 12% car loan, things that have no value. So it's time to just change your thinking a little bit. Now, here's my thinking on the higher interest rates. We know they are going to go down. They're not going to get back down in the 2s and 3s. I don't see that happening, but they are going to go down. And I expect, personally, I think it's going to be like in the 5s, but it could be next summer. So if you can ride this out right now with a little higher interest rate, you buy a $400,000 house at a 7% interest rate, and then next year it goes down to let's just say 5. That $400,000 house is going to go up. You're going to be up on money, and the person who wanted to buy the $400,000 house can't afford the $450,000 that it's at now. So it's a good time to buy. If you can ride out the higher interest for let's just say a year, or do a buy down for a year, you have 2 years. And, kind of gambling that it's going to go down. But if it does, you're in the driver's seat. Do not wait to purchase a home. Stop renting. Now, yes, some of you, and I get emails from some of you, Jason, you own instantrenters.com as well. Yes, and I love the renters. They, they're great people and stuff like that. But it's such a waste of money. All right? So, if you can buy, let's do it. Arizona real estate market's hot. We still got a lot. There's not that much inventory. The stuff that's out there is, mediocre. There are some good deals. But keep in mind, the guy that has a 2.5%, 3% interest rate is probably not selling their house unless they absolutely have to. So you're going to see the houses that are hitting the market right now are the ones that have the 4%, 5%, and 6% interest rates. Okay, so today I told you we're going to have a little bit of fun with talking about real estate here. And so, being married, you're always talking about relationships. I got a 17-year-old who, is starting to date and stuff like that. So it made me kind of think that, real estate is a little bit like dating. All right. So we came up with something. We call it, what is your home relationship status? Okay. So I broke it down into 4 small little parts. And again, we're going to have a little bit of fun with this. You guys feel free to email me. Check out thegrandongroup.com. Make any comments you want. And again, thank you for making us one of the top rated real estate podcasts here. So I really, really appreciate it. And listen, we love you guys. In fact, we got a new friend. He heard our podcast, and he's purchasing a house up in Prescott. So, you know what? Thank you. And you know who you are. So, and I can't tell you who he is just because of his job. So, anyways, we do appreciate the fact that this works and people put their trust in the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, powered by one of the top brokerages in Arizona, my home group. Okay, looking for a home. What is your home relationship status? Okay. So, you guys go on Facebook, you go on Twitter, you go on the social media, or you're just talking to your friends and you're like, hey, John, what's going on with you? Are you still dating that girl, or what's going on? Hey, man, it's complicated. So I decided to come up with this one section of the home relationship status, and that's what it is. It's complicated. And what does that mean as far as the homes go? Well, it means I can't decide if I want to rent or I want to buy. So it's complicated. You know, I rent, I can kind of leave, something breaks, I call the landlord, I fix it, I'm done with it, I don't have to deal with it. But if I buy, I got to come in with 20% down payment, which, by the way, people, that excuse no longer works, okay? And I almost think it's a cop-out for many people when they say, oh, I've got to come up with a bigger down payment. Yes, I understand the PMI, you want to get rid of that interest and stuff like that, but the fact is, you do not need 20% to buy a house. I'm seeing people buy houses on conventional loans at 3.5% to 5% down. So, and I've even seen some with gift loans. And if you're in the military, use that VA. Okay? So anyways, it's complicated. I can't decide if I want to buy or rent. 20 years old, 25 years old, 30 years old, it's kind of like one of those deals where you almost get too old to play the game and you got to start kind of thinking about the future. There is no future in renting. The government, and again, we do not make this a political show, but I can assure you on this, the government, the powers that be, want you to rent, or they want you to live in high rises and stay very close to one another because it's a control thing. And you'll notice this when you're driving around, all the apartments going up. People drive around, they're like, why are there so many apartments just being built in one little area? It's because they want everybody concentrated to one area for control. So homeowners give the government, and the mayors will tell you this, because I've been to the meetings, homeowners give them the hardest time because you own something that value that's going to go up. So you're obviously going to have a bigger opinion and you're going to have a bigger voice, plus you're a huge taxpayer. Renters aren't paying tax. So anyway, so it's complicated. I can't decide if I'm going to buy or rent. It's time to get out of that thought and move on there. So, we may have jumped ahead of ourselves a little bit because maybe we should have started with single, okay, before it goes to it's complicated. So the single person on the home relationship status, I'm still waiting on the right one. Every 6 months I move, do a little Airbnb here for the winter or the summer and move here. I'm just waiting on the right one. Well, what is that? Is it a 2-bedroom loft? Or is it a 4-bedroom, 3-bath with a pool house located in beautiful Paradise Valley? I mean, what is it? What are you waiting for? So you got single, who are still waiting on the right one. And then, of course, you got it's complicated. I can't decide if I want to buy or rent. So now we move into our more mature, we'll say, and I don't want to insult anybody, but let's just say the people that have been, you're engaged. All right, that's our third one. So we've had it's complicated, single, and now we're engaged. Engaged is, I plan to buy, but I've not set a date yet. Okay, so I'm living in a rental and I see a house and I'm looking at it. I've been over there a couple times. I haven't made an offer yet. I'm thinking about it, and maybe I do put an offer in, and I have a 45-day close date. But during that 45-day period, maybe I should just keep renting. I don't know if I should close on August 1st because it's just not right. Whatever the case is. It's called engaged. You plan to buy, but you haven't set a date yet. These are the procrastinators. So once you make a decision, make it. Listen, I told a gal this yesterday too that I took out. I'm a absolute firm believer, whether you're renting or buying, that you will know when you walk into the house. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Every house I've ever bought, any investment in real estate I've ever done, I walk in and I actually feel it. I can say, oh, this is a good deal. And there's some that you just don't feel it, so you know what? You don't move forward with it. But so anyway, so you're engaged, you plan to buy, but have not set a date. Finally, our fourth home relationship status, committed. Congratulations, this is you own a home. This is our ultimate goal, is to be committed in the home relationship status. Okay? So, you own a home. Now, here's some of the stuff we come across that is, I don't want to say it's discouraging, but a little bit, because TV and social media kind of play a part of this. But listen, in the older days, like my parents' generation and their grandparents and stuff, they used to buy a house, and that's where they lived. Whether they had 2 kids, 5 kids, or 10 kids, they had a house. It was a home, and many of them lived there till they died, and it passed on to the kids and stuff. In fact, I just sold a house, and it was a friend of mine from high school, and his parents lived there. They were the first owners, and they lived there for over 43 years. So being committed to a home is a good thing. But don't think that just because you're committed to it, you can't move on to another commitment. Yeah, you can buy some investment properties if you want. You can sell that house and buy another one. But the object is to try to stay committed in the home relationship status. That is where you're going to build a lot of your wealth. And I can't stress it enough that owning homes are going to make you very wealthy. And they can make you very wealthy. So, anyway, so we broke this down into 4 categories. I hope you guys kind of see it. Again, I'm going to read it to you real quick. What is your home relationship status? Are you single, which means you're still waiting on the right one? Or is it complicated? You can't decide on a buy, want to rent? Or are you engaged? I plan to buy, but I haven't set a date yet. Or are you committed where you already own a home? And you know what? You can look at it like growing your family. You sell that home, get a different one, get a bigger one, get a smaller one, move to a different place, try some different areas. Real estate is a great investment. It's better than, buying a lot of things that are out there and stuff. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't take as fast to go up. The only issue you have, and my dad told me this, and everyone, it's not as liquid as you need. So if you need $100,000 today, and you're going to pull the equity out of your house, sometimes it takes a little bit longer than a week or 2 to get that out of there. But don't let that be a discouraging mark. Take a look at real estate from a different lens, and just move a little bit and look at real estate, how it's going to make you a ton of money. So the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, is the one that can help you out with that. You guys have been checking out the sites. You've been on the blogs. I can't thank you guys enough. Arizona real estate market is hot. I think it's going to still continue to be hot. We're getting ready to move into season. We're at the end of August. We had the summer, June was great. July, it was not that it was bad. It was just so many days in a row of being hot. We had like 28 days of 115 plus, and it just wouldn't cool off. And those consecutive days is just a killer. But if you have a pool, go in, jump in the pool, go inside, shut the doors, the windows, the blinds, turn on the fan, and you'll take a great nap. So, anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed. We got a little bit off track about stuff, but I wanted to kind of put your relationship status out there. It was kind of fun, something to kind of get your mind thinking. But home ownership's the way to go. You guys are going to love it. There's a great feeling when you pull into your garage and you own the home. All right? And again, renting's fine if given the circumstances. But even if you're in a place, let's just say we get people that come here and they're like, hey, I'm only in Arizona for 2 years. I just want to rent. You know what? It's still a good time to buy because you're going to make money on the house if you've got a good team behind you helping you find it. So that team is the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. We handle the entire state. So if you want to live in Prescott, Sedona, Flagstaff, Williams, Camp Verde, Black Canyon City, my sister handles our northern division. For those of you who want to live in Maricopa County and Santan and Queen Creek, well, you get to hang out with me and we will have a blast. Hey, you know what? Thanks for listening to another episode of The Lockbox. Hope you enjoyed it. I promise, I tell you guys this all the time, I will be more consistent. No more than 5 or 6 days go by without another podcast. It's been busy. It's been very busy. So do not miss out. Everybody, I'm Jason Grandon with the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. Looking forward to talking to you. Again, you can't buy me love, but you can have a home relationship status and get committed. You guys have a good one. We'll talk to you next week as we've got some fun issues coming up. And we're moving into fall is technically September 23rd, but we consider to have here at Labor Day. So we're going to start talking about a little bit of your favorite stuff like pumpkin spice. Hey, I'm Jason Grandon with the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, powered by my home group. We'll talk to you next week.